Hi, so we're going to convert 2,500 microfarads to nanofarads to get some practice in conversions. So to do so, we're going to start with a metric prefix scale as a tool that we can use. So 2,500 microfarads. Now, first we're going to convert just to plain old prefixless farads. And the reason is I want to use the scale that I just showed you as a tool. That I really don't know how many places to hop, and I'm not a genius, so I want to use this to the best of my abilities. So here we go. If you take a look, you have farads to microfarads. Well, here's micro up in this area here. You'll notice that it has 10 to the negative 6. Well, we're going to set up microfarads since there's one on top to have one then below. The reason is that they will then cross out. Think about it. 1 divided by 1 is 1, and 5 divided by 5 is 1, and 10 divided by 10 is 1, and x divided by x is 1. So therefore, microfarads divided by microfarads is 1. And then it effectively just sort of goes away. This sort of means an equal sign. I'm saying 1 farad is 1 million microfarads, okay? So whoever's the bigger one, in this case it's just the farads, will just get the 1 value respectively. And you then don't need to use negative prefixes, okay? Because I don't really know millionth, but I do know that there are a million microfarads in any 1 farad. So to continue now, I didn't ask for farads, I asked for nanofarads. So since there is 1 high and 1 low, you place this conversion situated this way. Now again, what you see is that it's not using the 10 to the negative 9, it just uses the 10 to the 9 because farads is the bigger unit, so it gets the 1, and nanofarads go ahead and just gets the 9 without the negative exponent. So now we want to type this into a calculator. To do so, you would type 2,500 times, you would need to do the 1. How do you type this into a calculator? Well, most calculators you type it in as 1, and then you'd use the EE button, 9. That actually looks like and turns it into 1 times 10 to the 9. So you don't have to use brackets. Now, if you were to not use the EE button, you would actually have to do 1 times, I believe, 10 caret 9. There's a lot more typing that you'd have to do. Now this is usually Texas Instruments has the EE button, and I believe Casio has the exp button. So you would type in 1 exp 9, not 10 caret 9. You'd be off by a place because this is always going to show basically 1 times when you go ahead and use that. So then it's going to equal, what you do is you multiply across the top, you multiply across the bottom, then you finish the fraction, which would turn it into this, 2,500 times 10 to the 3 nanofarads. Now at this point you've completed what I asked you to do, but boy, that number terribly looks silly. So I'm going to put it in scientific notation. Scientific notation, really, the rule is I need 1 digit left of the decimal. So I'd move over 1, 2, 3, and I would add the 3 then 3 places to get 10 to the 6. Now that is scientific notation. Or I could stretch out the number and show it as regular notation. It's 2,500,000 nanofarads. But really, we're engineers, and so let's do engineering notation. What I'm going to do then is, instead of this nanofarads, I'm going to take that out, and since nanofarads says 10 to the 9, I'm going to place in the 10 to the 9. That actually equals, when you finally move all the places around, 0.0025 farads. Again, you don't really want to represent that as an engineer. You want to look for your first whole number that has 3 places. That looks good. In our case here, that would be 2.5, because if you notice, you go 1, that 1, 2, 3, right? And that's 2.5 times 10 to the negative 3 farads. Right there. Well, 2.5 times 10 to the negative 3, that is milli. So what you would do for engineering notation is pull out the milli, saying the 10 to the negative 3 and put in the milli. So it's actually 2.5 millifarads. Now, yeah, that's not answering my question, which I said nanofarads, and that would be the answer right here. But this gives us the answer in the best version of engineering notation. Engineering notation only uses this top part of the scale right here. And it doesn't use this bottom part here, which is hecto, deca, deci, and centi. We only use the parts where we use the commas for the zeros. So the first time you make a comma is 1,000. 1, comma, 0, 0, right? 0. There you go. Or 1,000,000. And so on. So because we had this convention of putting the commas after every 3 places, engineering notation only uses every 3 places. So scientific notation uses all of the prefixes available. Engineering notation just uses the top ones. Well, I hope this was helpful.